Can. K-A-N. Very good.
Can is spelt with a C.
What's K-A-T? Cat. I'm just checking to make sure you look very smart. I'm just making sure.
1 from 3. Catastrophic.
Christopher Luxon, a politician whose tenure often feels marked by what can politely be described as incompetence. But why is he so incompetent? It is because of a mixture of power and privilege and a lack of organic intellectualism. To really understand how power and privilege can lead to incompetence, let's bring up a cooking example. If you've had someone preparing your meals every day, say a butler or a personal chef, you might not know how to fry an egg, let alone plan a week's worth of groceries.
How much do you spend a week on food?
I'm personally shopping every Sunday down in Wellington, probably about $60.
What about you, Chris Ipman?
This causes an issue. When you don't have to solve basic problems, your ability to do so atrophies. David Graeber argued that power and privilege can often make people less capable. Why? Because when you're surrounded by people who handle the mundane and practical aspects of life for you, you lose the ability, or the need, to solve problems yourself. Christopher Luxon is a good example of this. He has 7 staffers working on his social media content, which is partly paid for by the taxpayer. But when he's on his own and having to think for himself, he showed how out of touch he is. This was made clear on the interview he did with Jack Tame.
Relative to the rest of the population, are the poorest people in New Zealand better or worse off today than when you took power?
They are getting better off under a national
They're better off
under our government.
No,
Yep.
Are they better off relative to the rest of the population?
They are better off than they were 12 months ago. Because
relative to the rest
down,
of the population.
Food price inflation is down.
Sorry, Prime Minister, the question is, relative to the rest of the population, are the poorest people in New Zealand better off than when you took power?
I'd say the poorest people, all New Zealanders, are doing better under this government than they were 12 months ago.
Of course, that's not the question I asked. The question is relative to the rest of the population.
Well, I think there's been, I think that we've got challenges about making sure we get people off welfare into work and into proper jobs and high-paying jobs.
Still not an answer, though, is it? Sorry, that's still not an answer. The question is, relative to the rest of the population, are they better or worse off?
I don't know.
Antonio Gramsci made a distinction between traditional intellectuals, who are detached from the realities of everyday life, and organic intellectuals, who arise from and truly understand the struggles of their communities. Organic intellectuals, like union leaders or community organisers, are deeply rooted in real-world experiences, which gives them a better understanding of the needs and challenges of the people they represent. Luxon, on the other hand, doesn't fit this mould. He's not an organic intellectual. His background as an executive means he's been far removed from the lives of everyday citizens, and it shows in his policies and public engagements.
It's an entitlement that I have, and I'm just entitled to the entitlements that everyone else has. It's just an entitlement. They're part of an entitlement for an out of Wellington MP. It's an entitlement.